Glenn?
I have a question for both of you. You both spoke about engaging citizens, and I agree with you, the importance of that. But what I see when I go to the city council meetings is a person can stand up and talk about an issue or a concern, and the council sits there with glazed over eyes, and there's no answer or discussion. Would each of you, what would each of you do if you were mayor to open that conversation? Or would you do that?
Glenn?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I've city council meetings I've been to, and those the same thing. My understanding is that's kind of how the city council operates. If you have something you need that you want them to approach, you have to make sure it gets put on the agenda by having either the mayor or one of the city council members sponsor it. So really there isn't much room for discussion during the meeting or feedback, like you say. I feel the same way you do. I think that's one of the reasons that we probably do have a divide where people have shown up over the years. How many people have showed up and raised a question or a concern and felt like it was not heard or at least not responded to. So I agree. There needs to be a better way. What would I do? Look into the procedures of how the council meeting is ran and see if there's ways to at least be able to respond, or at least be able to say, hey, great question. Here's how we can get further into that by you, and I will personally sponsor that for the next meeting or in a month from now. And let's get some more people in here to talk about that because it's obviously a concern. I feel like if somebody shows up to the meeting, that it's probably a much bigger concern than what they're able to voice. Because a lot of people probably show up when they're just fed up, you know, or they're in support of something that's coming up. I attended a meeting about the 10 Commandments in Farm and Park, and it was pretty well attended, and the discussion was pretty light. Felt like the council responded correctly, though, in what they did. But I felt like, well, you have to get 80 people or 100 people to show up before they're going to, you know, feel the heat and make the right decision. So, yeah, I agree. Thanks.
Thanks for the question, Glenn. The way meetings work is, maybe you know, you can either get something put on the agenda, and that's an opportunity for the public and for the council to specifically dive into that issue, and with research and with plenty of information to back up the decision, whatever choice is made. There's also a three-minute period at the beginning, or rather, a period at the beginning of every meeting where the public can show up and address any issue, whether it's on the agenda or not, any concern that you have. You can step up and speak your mind, speak your piece. And I hear what you're saying. I hear your frustration, and I think it's absolutely appropriate and necessary that the mayor set the tone for those discussions and set the tone in a way that people feel heard, that they feel responded to, that their concern is responded to. And if I was elected mayor, I would do my best to create a culture where people feel engaged and they feel heard when they, especially when they come to a city council meeting. Because, you know, to Mose's point, you know, I think it is for somebody to actually come out at 5:30 on a Wednesday, come out of their house to go to that environment. I realize it's not the coziest place in the world, and maybe that's something that we can do too. To how can we make it more approachable, more inviting for the public to really want to get involved? So, thanks for the question.